Hi everyone, if you find this video useful, please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thanks so much to everyone for subscribing, and a big hello to any new subscribers. Thank you.
So today we're working on a 2009 59 plate Ford Mondeo Mk4 estate, and what we're going to do is I'm going to change the brakes, discs and pads, and eventually we're going to get new suspension for it as well. There's quite a few creaks and groans, which I suppose is only to be expected on a 11-year-old car. So yeah, wheel off first of all. As you can see, I've undone all the wheel nuts, safety precautions, jack, axle stand. I'm on a bit of soft ground here, so I've just got a bit of something sturdy underneath. So we'll get the wheel off and then we'll get the disc off. Right, so wheel is going to come off now, and we're going to get on with the disc and pads. I've got a helper. Someone's come to help me. Hey Bruno. Good boy. That reminds me. Pets and jacked up cars. Pets and jacked up cars are never a good idea, so always keep your animals under control. Get in there. In. Go on. Jack. So once the wheel is off, put the wheel under your car just in case everything else fails. You've always got a wheel under your car just to stop the car coming down on you. Always a good plan. This is a relatively new disc, but it's actually the wrong type of disc. When I'm driving down the road, 60-ish, I start getting a really bad vibration. So, as you can see, the pads are really new, the discs are new, but it's just the wrong one. So we're going to change it for the right one, hopefully, and then we won't have any more problems. Okay, so next part is to remove. On the back here, I've got two of these plastic covers, one here and one I don't know if you can see it. Literally two plastic covers. There'll be one here, that's where my finger is, and then also one up here. So the plastic covers, all they do is they're inside there. You take off the plastic cover, a flat edge screwdriver is probably best, and then you've got Allen bolts just holding the caliper onto the carrier. Okay, take two. We have a torch. Yes. So that's that bottom cover, plastic cover. Just take that off, and inside there you've got the Allen bolt, and that's the bottom one. And then there's also one on the top somewhere, which is that one there. Yeah, that just comes off. Excuse me. That just comes off just to show you inside there is the Allen bolt. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so basically we found out that the bolt is 7mm. The Allen bolt is 7mm, and I managed to find a spare Allen key. Undo that. It is literally the only missing one. 7mm. Anyway, I managed to find one, so we'll use that. We'll get that undone. These are usually on pretty tight, so the only way that we're going to be able to get that is maybe to put that in there. No. Put that there. And literally put a spanner on it. Put a spanner on it and see if we can get some leverage on it. I'll let you know once I've done that. Yep, sometimes these run stupidly tight, but when I put this one back in, I must have just put it in as it should be. So that's good. Should come out. Okay, I won't take it all the way out until I've got the other one undone. But yeah, you can see there, that's the start of the head. Just coming, that's the Allen head. Right, let's loosen off the low one. This is the bottom Allen bolt. See if we just, that should be pretty slack now. Yeah, it's pretty good. They've come out quite good. Sometimes these are seized up. A bit of a nightmare. Yeah, there we are. That bolt head's just coming out there now. Perfect. That's looking good. So that should be now free. it should be. It should be okay to come out now, I think. Let's just have a quick look. So with the two Allen bolts on the back here loosened off, all we now need to do is just literally loosen off this spring. I'd usually go top or bottom, and that should just get a little bar on it, something like this, and then that should pretty much come off quite easy. Yep, something like that. One spring removed, literally just starting in the middle, actually easiest way, start in the middle and then drops out quite easy. And then all this should be loose, pretty loose now. So with the car out of gear, we can move the disc around, that's moving freely, and with the two bolts quite loose, quite free, this caliper should now just literally pull off. All I'm going to do is just literally just try and wedge it off. Definitely coming. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And all we're going to do, take the Allen key out of there. Actually just put this on the top just for the moment. Okay, take care not to actually bend the pipes, just keep them nice as they should be. That's not too bad. I've actually removed one of the brake pads at the same time in the caliper there, but that's no problem. All we're going to do now is literally remove this other brake pad, take off the carrier, and then we will be able to change the disc. The size of the bolts on the back of the carrier is 18mm. So literally put your 18mm on there. There's two bolts, top and bottom. It's the bottom one. I'd already slackened these off literally. See if we can get a bit of light on there to make it a bit more visible. Nothing I can hook onto. Ah, great. Let's see, can I hook onto the spring? There we go. Yeah, so there we go. So I've got a little bit more light in there, not much. There we go, I think it should be out now, I think. Yeah, that's the bottom 18mm bolt. And then there's a top one as well for the carrier, which is just here, just behind that pipe there. There we go. It's so much easier on a ramp. It is so much easier on a ramp when you're trying to, at least it's not raining. Yeah. So that's that. That's the other bolts. That's the two 18mm bolts there. And they just hold on this carrier. Okay. Put that there. Now we can change the disc. Oh God. Literally these ones can go. I've got the proper ones to go on there. There's some weight in them. But yeah, that wasn't the right one. This is buying parts off eBay when it turned up. As you can see, this is what I should have. This is the new one. What turned up on eBay was this one, same 5 holes, but it also had this little extra hole there for some kind of a little screw just to probably go into the hub. I think that's off possibly a later Mondeo. But yeah, this is the proper one for the Mondeo Mk4 estate. Just a normal 5 bolt hole. So all we're going to do with these is literally get them out the packet. Get them out of the packet and give them a once over. I've got some brake cleaner. Give them a once over with brake cleaner. If you haven't got any brake cleaner, just use some white spirit. All they do is they put a protective film, oil film, all over the discs. I'm sure you guys know. Little slight rust spot there. Looks like they might have missed a bit. Okay. Get that done now. Put plenty on and literally just wipe off any gunk. Clean towel. To do the back as well. So you guys know what you're doing. But yeah, just give it a good old once over. A good wipe. There we go. And inside that, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about this little bit of rust. As soon as the disc is on and as soon as you start driving at high speed, that will all clean up. As soon as you start touching the brakes, that will all clean up. Cool. Get these on the car now. There we go. Look pretty good. Nice clean set of discs. Hopefully stop that vibration when I'm driving down the road at high speed. There we go. So these 18mm bolts are literally going into the carrier, and I haven't got any new bolts, so I'm going to be reusing these ones. They're okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of copper slip on them. I know that, you know, different people have different thoughts on copper slip. It's nowhere near any rubber parts, so and as long as you get it in tight enough, it'll be fine. Yep, so that's what I'm going to do. Just put some on the end. Literally, yeah, put a blob on there. And just keep working it around. Not too much, but literally. Yep, don't have to be overly tidy with it. Just make sure you don't get it on your actual discs or your pads. That's the two areas to keep away from. And then literally, yeah, just get that into your carrier, and then get that bolted into your hub. So yeah, this is it's the bolts back in the carrier. A little bit of copper slip on them. Jobs are good, and just stops the bolts from rusting up and makes them a little bit easier to stops them from seizing up, and makes them a little bit easier to undo next time. So this is now where it pays to be fastidious, clean, and very, very careful where you put the old copper slip. That literally now goes on to here like this. What we're going to do is this one here. Right, okay. So what we can see in the Haynes manual, that's why I like to try and refer to these as and when I can. We see that the front brake caliper mounting bracket bolts, them and them two 18mm ones, and they are 200 Newton meters or 148 pound-foot. So what I've done here, I've put the mounting bracket back on, and just attached the brake pads in there. They're all fine, and then yeah, those two bolts on the back, see them there, one just there, and then the one at the bottom. So yeah, just tying them up, so that's all good to go. I'll just give the disc another clean, and then we'll be okay to put the caliper back on. So what I'd advise here, we're just gonna, you can see the caliper is just literally a little bit proud there, so we're just gonna try and angle that back in just so that we can get the caliper and the over the brake pads, get it all sitting nice and comfortably, So all I'm going to do to help push the caliper back, I'm going to push the caliper back with a little bar or a big screwdriver, something like that. I'm just going to put some WD-40 just on here. Just hold that. And literally oops. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. No. No. Just not going to work. Bollocks. So I struggle to push the caliper back. So all I've done here, quite an easy one really, because it came off and because I didn't change the pads. If it usually comes off easy, well, not always. You don't want to say it always goes back easy, but if it came off relatively easy, it should go back quite easy. So that's all I've done here. I've just literally put the inside brake pad put the spring clip into the actual piston, and then just kind of just pushed it in, give it a little bit of encouragement, and yeah, we're pretty good there. Where are we? Right, so front caliper, so the guide bolts, they're the little Allen bolts that hold the caliper in. They're 28 Newton meters or 21 pounds-foot. Okay. Did have quite a bit of a tussle with the old caliper. Caliper wasn't really seating properly. However, now there's a torch. Managed to get the caliper seated quite nicely. Can't see anything. There we are. Yeah, so it's still not perfect. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy at all with that. On the bottom, yeah, the bottom's out a little bit as well. Okay. That's the drawing board. That's everything put together, and yep, be able to go on to the right hand side next. So here I am about to do the front right. So same as before, spring off, go in there or there. Off with these caps, two of these, as per left hand side. These two caps off, upper and lower, then the 7mm Allen bolt, remove that. That will free up the caliper. We can get the caliper off. Then we're going to look to get the brake pads out, and then remove the carrier with the two big bolts on the back here. Once we've got all that off, we'll change the disc. Job's a good one. So as you can see, the little clip has been removed here. Sorry, the little spring. Now then, I forgot to mention on the other one, this kind of gets in your way, this pipe, this brake pipe. So if you just move this, it just literally comes out of there. Should do. Yeah, you can see, so that can just go back in there into the little bracket. Just move that out of your way, and then that will actually make it easier to get to your Allen bolts here for the caliper. So basically, yeah, we've got the disc off, caliper's just sat there, disc off. So now, I forgot to mention this on the other one, what you can actually do is go over with your brake cleaner, and also just a wire brush as well, just any loose flakes of anything. It's a good opportunity, a good time to clean up your hub. So yeah, we'll do that now. Okay, so handbrake off, and then literally just start trying to move this bracket.